Hey friend, my name is Chuck Betters and I am the CEO of MARKINC Ministries. And oftentimes we're asked, why do you do what you're doing? Why are you spending so much time dealing with hurting and suffering people? We're trying to answer that question in this series called The 12 Days of Christmas, and this is day number 7. I want to encourage you to listen closely as we try to address that question. Why do you do, Sharon, why do we do at MARKINC Ministries what we do?
Well, those of you who've been around MARKINC Ministries know that our vision is to offer help and hope, especially to hurting people. And you know our story, that we have been through the valley of grief, the abyss of grief ourselves. And we learned that people ahead of us in life's journey could call back with the help and hope of the gospel, that they had experienced similar brokenness. And of course, grief is not just when you lose a child. It goes across the board. And we receive notes from people who have accessed our resources, have stumbled on them, a friend has shared them, or they found them on our app, our free Help and Hope app, which is packed with hope. We call it Hope is Just a Click Away, or Hope is in the Palm of Your Hand. So you can make sure and download that. But one of the stories that we received, I want to share it with you to give you just a little idea, because this is a common, very common note that I'm going to share with you. A very common crisis in a person's life, and you may be that person. This person says, I have chronic fatigue. How do I make life meaningful? Actually, that's the question that Chuck was answering on the Ask Dr. Betters video. And this viewer shares these words. Thank you, Dr. Betters. I have CFS also as a part of other diseases, lupus, fibromyalgia, RA, spinal stenosis, and a few unrelated illnesses. It's been 22 years since my body betrayed me and my immune system attacked itself. I was a nurse taking care of elderly and hospice patients and had worked a short time in alcohol and drug rehab. I and my sisters took care of our mama for 6 years before she had to be in a nursing home due to dementia. She was a true Proverbs 31 woman. It was an honor to care for her, and we look forward to seeing her in heaven. I had a tumultuous marriage over a 30-year period of separations and reruns. Eventually, he passed away long after the divorce. I went through abuse of many kinds with him, and my body suffered. It should have been no surprise when my body began to break down. I now use social media as a platform for encouragement and adding on resources such as your videos, Ask Dr. Betters, to others who may be helped. Not individually usually, but just general posts that may be helpful to many. I never feel this is enough. I should do more, but this is all I seem to be able to do. Your video helped me feel better about my life, and knowing someone else felt the way that I felt. God is so gracious and merciful. He loves us, and that makes it all worth it. And Chuck, we know what chronic pain can be like. But we have heard this story over and over and over again. And one of the reasons that we have our Help and Hope resources that address chronic illness and caregiving is because it's like an unseen army of people who are hurting and broken and just longing for someone to say, I get it. I know how you feel.
Just hearing what this poor lady is going through and seeing what she's doing in order to redeem her pain. Any one of those things that she says her body broke down and has become the victim of, any one of those things would destroy many people. She's got so many things wrong, so many issues that have thrown her into the midst of darkness and pain and heartache, where I am sure she longs for glory, longs for the day when the pain is gone, the heartache is gone. And, you know, we here at MARKINC Ministries, we hear these stories all the time, hundreds of them. We're approaching 2 million visits to our Ask Dr. Better series. and many thousands more to our resources to help people who are going through the throes of stuff like this. And you know, friends, when we think about it, when you partner with us, you partner with Marking Ministries, we produce the resource. Somebody like this comes along and says, you know what? I want to do what you're doing. I want to produce on social media. I want to offer help and hope to hurting people. So here's your money being used by us to produce resources to touch people like this dear lady with the gospel, with the hope, who then turns around and does the very same thing. So you're multiplying your investment. So we do what we do in order to offer help and hope to hurting people like you, like her, and to give during this Christmas season another side, another slice of life for those who are walking through darkness to see the light of the gospel. Sharon, that's why we do what we do.